But when someone like Lori says that she wants to know what is it about my prayer life, and this was the specific thing she said, something hit me while I was listening. I struggle with my prayer life. The Holy Spirit prompted me to reach out to you for help on how to implement a strong prayer life. It's not just that I don't pray, because I do. I just want one of those strong prayer lives that I enter into the throne room with expectation and trust of his promises. Man, first off, the wisdom in just asking that and having eagerness to be in his throne room. You've already done more than he would want. And that's just, you're seeking after him. So my initial response was, holy cow, this will be a really great podcast. And I don't want to just give you the response. I want it to be a response for others to hear. And also I wanted to give her some nuggets. And so since the nuggets were already dropped there, this one, Lori, is for everybody else. And then I've got more for you. So thanks for prompting this, and thanks for allowing me to speak into it, because what an honor. I still am always in the same heart set and the same desire, just like, God, I want more of you. And so my prayer life has really, really evolved in the last several years as I've just found more of that sanctuary space, more of that time of rest before the Lord versus like praying on the run or just praying before I go to sleep. I have friends through Clubhouse that I've met. I'm thinking of Marcus Ellis specifically, who always shared like, before he even got out of his room, he would fall to his knees, right? And I know there was actually holes worn into Billy Graham's side bed for years, right? After years and years and years of praying. And so there are some different methodologies that I have. And one of the things that I shared with her was about landscape design. Now, this concept is actually, you can see it behind me, in my book, Always Becoming, that is actually available for pre-order right now on BAM and Barnes & Nobles, any of the actual bookstore retailers. So don't go to Amazon. It is available there, but I really want and need it to be promoted through other places so that January 9th, when it hits the bookstores, it's in more bookstores, hopefully in a bookstore next to you. So it's called Always Becoming, Sex, Shame, and Love. A lot of where my prayer life came from is because of the life that I led without prayer. So in context to that, I talk about landscape design in that book from a mind and body perspective, but connected to my prayer, it's really powerful. And what does that mean? What is landscape design anyway? So I'll tell you from a way that you can put your head around it and potentially convict you a bit from a body perspective. Like, let's say you always had cereal. So I was addicted to cereal for years, okay, decades. Literally, I convinced myself while I was pregnant that I had to wake up in the middle of the night because I was starving. Actually, the baby was starving, so I had a really good excuse. But I would make a huge giant bowl of milk and cereal. I liked healthy cereal, so there it was that. I liked what was it? Special K with strawberries. I loved Raisin Bran. I love, plain Cheerios with fresh local honey. Like, that all sounds great to you, right? But no, it wasn't like whole milk. It wasn't like non-homogenized. We didn't have oat milk back then when I was addicted to it, or almond milk. No, it was just the sugary, not good. I broke my fast, hence breakfast every single day, multiple times a day, because I was addicted to sugar, really. But I say I was addicted to cereal. Anyway, in said addiction, if it is available inside of my pantry, I'm probably going to eat it, right? So it could be like my sweet tooth of a husband who, when I bake brownies for the kids, we could all just have one, maybe two, let's be honest, maybe two small that become one large brownie, and anything left in the pan, because he knows it's there, he literally can't help himself. He'll walk downstairs in the middle of the night and he'll eat the entire thing. And the kids can't wait to pack it in their lunch the next day. And they know without a shadow of a doubt, Dada ate it, all of it, every single piece. So we cannot keep anything sweet in our house. Even ice cream, I'll get like healthy ice cream, Halo ice cream, whatever you love. I love the soy brand. Yes, we're getting to prayer. So this is real life. I want you guys to understand. But I could keep it in there and it is gone. Like, it just is. So the concept of landscape design, easily connected to our body and our mind, is whatever is available, you're going to go after, even if you know it's bad for you, because it's just in your vicinity. So when we stopped drinking alcohol 4.5 years ago, we obviously removed all of the alcohol 4.5 years ago. Why would we do such a thing? Because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. right? So you are inhibiting yourself from being the best version of yourself based on what you're putting in your vicinity. If you're trying to stop smoking and you have a thing of cigarettes in your bag, are you going to smoke? Probably I'll just finish these off and I won't get any more, right? Or if you're trying to give up soda and you've got Mountain Dew filled in your fridge outside, same thing, right? Let's talk about it associated to prayer, because I think a lot of people aren't prepared for their prayer life in this way, because they're allowing themselves to have a distraction zone that it's infiltrating. So for me, my favorite time to be before the Lord, and it's all the time because we always are, even as I'm sharing this podcast, right? But I have it's literally called my Bible chair, not because I called it that. My kids called it that because every single morning, them coming downstairs, they see me in the chair with my Bible in my lap. It's the literal only time that I sit in that chair ever. And so that's just what it's become called. But it's also the place that I know I'm going to have my coffee in the morning. I'm going to have sweet time with the Lord. Sometimes I am on my knees before the fire. Sometimes my back is cozied up next to the Bible chair. Sometimes I fall asleep in that chair after I read the Bible because God just puts me into a sweet slumber. But I am creating a landscape that I know my heart is going to be open to, my mind is going to be focused on, and I am quiet enough that the Lord can speak back. So prayer is not just us always petitioning out to God. It is also Him responding. It's an opportunity for communication. And so if you're in a place where, let's say you're driving to work, which I know a lot of people also pray there, that's great. That's awesome. You're by yourself and maybe you've got the music on, or maybe because you're also paying attention to all of the cars, hopefully around you and the destination in which you're going, the landscape is already an area and zone of distraction. Do you see the difference between a little space that could be your war room? We know the concept of having a war room and actually establishing a prayer closet is wildly powerful. I have my friend Angela Beller, who will likely listen to this, and she also has her own podcast called the Fabulous Podcast. Yes, Fab, you less, him more. It's so good and rich. She actually came to one of our podcasting retreats last year, and within 6 months is the top 2.5% in the world. So that shows you, one, what consistency can do, but also what a great programmatic plan can do. And so if that's you and you're listening and you're like, I love what she's doing, I want to share my message, we have a podcasting retreat coming up in December, actually, in Virginia Beach, Virginia. So you could come and hang out with me. We only have room for 6 people to attend that, and we already are halfway full. So if that's something that just piques your interest, I wasn't planning on saying that. I just thinking about Angela specifically because of her prayer closet. She's got this immaculate wardrobe. It's a part of her fabulous brand and just who she is, colorful and electric, kind of like my background right here, but her closet far outweighs mine. But she always had this area where she had her pinned prayer request. She had her Bible. She had all of her other books. She had a cozy chair. She had those dim lit lights. Think about it as a sanctuary already created before you walk into the throne room.